Hello again, everyone. Welcome inside. It is another edition, the Adam Jones Podcast. We continue Season 3, presented by the Baltimore Banner. I'm Jerry Coleman. He's the five-time MLB All-Star Adam Jones. It's episode 73. We're going to look back at some of our best conversations featuring the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, Padres star Manny Machado, Orioles ace Corbin Burnes, and a very concerned parent and a former major leaguer in Matt Holliday. But before Adam departs for his adventurous trip to India, we will talk about how he used to handle rain delays back in the day, which the O's have experienced plenty thus far. And does he think robotic umps have a place and are coming to Major League Baseball, plus a chance to win a $50 gift card compliments Alito Pizza during our Socially Speaking segment. But let's begin, Adam, with our featured guests. They are all sponsored by Jimmy's Famous Seafood. You were out at their golf tournament. They loved having you out there. You shot a 63. We can't talk about that during this podcast. We'll get to it later. We led off our season with Governor Wes Moore, and he joined us in February and revealed who some of his sports heroes were and are.
Who were your sports heroes growing up? You grew up, you were 8 years older than I am. I mean, we're just an older generation. Who are your sports heroes? Because you got to see Mike. You got to see some older guys that I didn't get to see that I'm kind of jealous of.
Admit you were a kid. You grew up watching Adam Jones play as a kid.
I'm about to say, listen, I'm rapping one of them right now. I'm rapping one of them right now.
Feel old, AJ?
No, a little bit.
No, but I mean, and it's wild because I was always attracted to people who had a persona that was larger than life than on the field. And I am gonna say this about you, AJ. I mean, one of the things that I love about you is not only were you a superstar on the field, but you made an entire community feel seen and feel welcomed. And that was really special because it's bigger than sports at that point. I think about when I get a chance to, when I was a huge fan, for example, in basketball, I was a huge fan of AI, of Allen Iverson. Right. Yeah. Because this was a dude, not only was he you couldn't stay in front of him. He was just quicker than everybody else on the field. You had to develop entire defenses about how can you just try to stay in front of Allen Iverson, which was impossible. But the energy and the aggression that he brought to every game, when you talk about leading on the field, that was AI. I think the same thing about Ray Lewis in football. This was a dude who just he thought different. And it was impossible to be on a Ray Lewis team and slack. He wouldn't let you. You weren't permitted. And I love that. I love the players. I've always been attracted to the players who, the ones who were dominant on the field. And the ones who were skilled at what they did. But I've always been attracted to the people whose personalities were bigger than the sport and were bigger than the team. And who understood they got everybody on the same sheet of music because you just never wanted to disappoint them in the work that you were doing. And so it's you and it's players like that I think always gave me life.
Adam, he was great. I mean, this guy has a very good chance of being our next president, at least in my opinion.
I think what we've seen, especially with the unfortunate incident with the bridge, that's a very presidential situation. And they did a great job. The mayor, the officials of Baltimore did a fantastic job on the cleanup, and hopefully we can get that channel back going. It's going to take a long time to get that bridge. You might need to rename it the Cal Ripken Bridge, but it could be cool. It could be something, a start over project.
We appreciate the governor. He's got his plate full. We'll get him back soon. We also had earlier in the season the former player and the father of Orioles top prospect Jackson Holliday. While Jackson was with the Orioles in May, we talked about him being concerned for his son, but also being a proud papa in the process.
I think I know the answer to this question, but in totality, I want to ask it our final question for you. Did you have a T-shirt giveaway on your first Major League home game when you debuted as a Major Leaguer like your son did? What do you recall about your first Major League hit?
I did not. In fact, I don't think I ever had a shirt in 15 years. I don't think they ever made a shirt about me. I remember, my initial call up. I thought I was going to make the team with the Rockies in 2004. I had a great spring training. Didn't end up making it, and then Larry Walker and Preston Wilson Both were having some knee issues, and I think it was Preston went on the DL, and we were in Memphis. I had played only 6 games in AAA, and got the call from the manager on the hotel phone. That tells you that it goes back how far it was. But he called me and said Marv Foley was his name, or it still is his name. He called me and said, you're going to the major league. So my first initial call obviously was my wife, who was, I think she was back in Oklahoma at the time. And I remember calling her, no answer. And I'm thinking, good gosh, I mean, answer the phone. Like this is, the most exciting news I've ever gotten as a player. And so I ended up calling my parents because I had to tell somebody. And then she called me back and she says, what? I mean, what do you want? I said, I'm going to the major leagues. Or she said, what do you want? I'm watching The Bachelor. And I'm like, oh, that's about right. So that was my initial call up. I flew to Denver. Actually, she was in Colorado Springs because that was where our AAA was. So I flew to Denver. She picked me up at the Denver airport. We went straight to Coors Field. It was a day game, so I didn't end up playing that day. The next game was in St. Louis. So after the game, we flew to St. Louis. I started the next game in St. Louis. So my debut was in the old Busch Stadium. And so it was pretty cool. I didn't get a hit that day either. I didn't get a hit the second day. I had the oh gosh, I better get a hit soon or else I would be headed back to Colorado Springs. I got 3 hits the third day against Woody Williams and I kind of got it going from there and ended up staying. And even when Larry and Preston came back, we kind of went in. Jeremy Burnett was our other outfielder. We went into like a 4 outfielder rotation, and then ultimately they traded Larry around the deadline and became an everyday outfielder for the Rockies. And so that's kind of how it went.
And it's got to be nerve-wracking to watch his son perform at the job he did. I was golfing with Quadra Ishmael. His son just got signed to the Ravens, and just the emotions, they're just different. And it's letting your son go. You can't protect him all the time. I think as parents, we try to protect our kids all the time. This is a situation where you got to let your kids go and flourish and thrive. And you see that Jackson's 20 years old in AAA. He's 4 years younger than the league. So he's thriving. And I know it from a parent's perspective, it's probably that much more fulfilling.
Well, as a parent, let me ask you this. Do you think your kids have Major League Baseball aspirations?
I don't know. As of now, I don't think any 10-year-old or 8-year-old has Major League Baseball aspirations. It's the parent who has the Major League Baseball aspirations for the kid. But as of this point, no. I know they want to do something successful, something fun, but my kids are 10 and 8. I'm not taking childhood away from them because of a selfish thing that I want them to do. And that's what a lot of parents do is, oh, my kid's going to be the next this. Your kid just needs to be the next kid to not eat glue. Let's start early. Let's not, push him to be a 25-year-old already.
That's a perfect answer. Well, the Orioles' biggest offseason splash outside of getting a new owner in David Rubenstein, the acquisition of pitcher Corbin Burnes, who told us he feels like the best is still yet to come. Do you feel like you're coming into your prime right now? Do you still have 200 innings and 200 strikeouts underneath your belt for years to come?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still learning a lot. I learn stuff out here every day. I'm fortunate enough this year I get to pitch with Craig Kimbrell, who's done this for 15 years in the big league. So there's a lot to learn from that guy. But yeah, I think there's pieces I pick up every year, pieces I pick up every week, every start, different ways to get hitters out. I'm only getting stronger physically. So it's one of those things that I feel like I still got a lot left in the tank. And, I think 200 innings and 200 Ks is kind of the benchmark now for me to strive for every year. But I always tell everyone, at the end of every season, when they ask, was it a successful year? I'm like, look, I was healthy. I didn't hit the IL. I made my starts every 5 days. I made 32, 33 plus starts. I know if I'm on the field, I'm helping the team a lot more than if I'm on the IL.
What would it take to keep you in Baltimore? That's an agent question. Don't answer. Don't answer.
Let me throw it this way. Let me throw it this way. Besides the money, how much will the atmosphere in the Orioles clubhouse impact your decision making?
Yes, so far it's been a great group. When you look at the future of Baltimore, it's in that clubhouse. It's the guys that are in there. Like you say, the Gunnar Hendersons, the Jackson Holliday, some of these guys that are 20, 21, 22 years old, coming up, and the guys in the rotation, and Grayson Rodriguez and Bradish, these are all young guys that have bright futures. So as far as being an organization that the future looks bright based off the age of these guys and the core of the group of these guys, it's in a good spot. Obviously, with the ownership change, I think it's kind of given some new life to the front office and the guys in here that, hey, there could be some big change coming. So it's definitely an exciting time to be in the Baltimore organization.
I mean, he's an ace. He's one of the top 5 pitchers, I think, in Major League Baseball on any given day. But I think his impact is going to be bigger than just this year. I don't know if he's going to re-sign with the Orioles. That's definitely not my department. But what he's going to mean to Grayson and going to mean to Kramer, Bradish, and the list goes down in the organization. I just think that accountability, everybody wants to be a dog. Sometimes people don't know how to be a dog. This guy can teach other guys how to be a dog.
Last but not least, the former Oriole, current Padres star, friend of yours, Manny Machado. He joined in the fun in late February, and you were talking with your former teammate, Manny, asking him about legacy.
And my final one to you is, we just seen the Hall of Fame guys go in there. And again, you got a long time on your contract left, but you're at 1,700 and 300. You're on pace for 500, 3,000, just by being just you. Have you given any thought to, again, you're on the second part of your career. You're over 30 now, you old man. You're over 30. Have you given thought to the legacy of Manny Machado?
I mean, it's. I still see this game. I love this game. I still see it like I'm a kid. I just want to continue to play. Whatever comes my way, comes my way. And just enjoying it. I think, seeing Belcher, Belcher just got in. He loved the game. We played against him. How happy was he always on the field? Always talking, smiling.
Loved it.
Except if he touched his head, right?
So yeah, that's the only thing he didn't like. But it's just about enjoying the game. It's just enjoying it. Obviously, these milestones would be great. If I get to them, I'm on pace to get to them. I mean, just even thinking about 3,000 hits, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot, and it's a lot of homers. To get to 500, there's a handful of guys who have done it. So, I mean, I will be, forever grateful if I reach it. But, it's just about winning. I think I want to continue to win. As a player, we all want to win. And, ultimately, that's something that we could go out there and really control. Hall of Fame stuff with the votes and all that stuff, you really don't know. And that's a little bit later on down the road. But I want to win. If I win, I'm happy with that. But it's fun. It's fun to go out there and play every day, and obviously seeing those numbers continue to grow from my first base hit, my triple that I hit as a little baby in Baltimore, to the right side sliding into third base, to now hitting my 300 homer last year was kind of special for sure.
Oh, legacy. I mean, I think he's on par to be 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, 1,500 RBIs. He just had his first kid, so he's seeing life differently now. He's going to go down as one of the greatest third basemen of all time, in my opinion. And especially of this era, he's one of the best players. So to be able to know him, to be able to see his start, and to be able to still follow his success, it's humbling because he still puts in the time, he puts in the work, he puts in the effort. And to see his success, we want to see the Padres win. It'd be great for me if the Padres Orioles won the World Series. I'm winning either way, just like my father-in-law says when the Redskins play the Cowboys. Sorry, the Commanders. That's one day, those 2 days a year, he never loses. So that'd be a situation where I wouldn't lose.
More coming up on the Adam Jones Podcast, but first, a word from our sponsors. The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Weinman Company. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for Bet Parks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And for a limited time, 21 and over Adam Jones Podcast listeners can get a $75 gift card to Greenmount Station simply for opening a new account with promo code GMS and a minimum $50 initial deposit. $75 gift card for new users in Maryland only. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, Charm City's favorite crab cake destination. Local sports fan? Experience the ultimate pregame party at the tailgate. Cheer on the Ravens with iconic live performances, an open bar, and mouth-watering eats. Can't make it? No worries. Bring the same food that caught the attention of the Food Network right to your doorstep. Shipping East Coast recipes nationwide. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the official sponsor of the guests appearing on the Adam Jones podcast.
It might be an 11, maybe a 9. It could be 13's time, or 5. With new Cash Pop from the Maryland Lottery, a winning number is drawn 4 times a day. Just pick a number from 1 to 15 for a chance to win cash, like the $2,500 top prize.
Woo! Cash Pop.
Cash Pop.
Pop, pop.
Put a little pop in your day.
If you received ERC funds, listen closely. The IRS has 10 years to audit your claim, but you only have until March 22nd to get taxpayer relief, and the clock is ticking. If you're losing sleep over a possible audit, we'll review your claim. If you made a filing error, we'll set things right. If you're being audited, we'll provide expert representation. The IRS Voluntary Disclosure Program ends March 22nd. You deserve peace of mind. Visit SaveMyERC.com to schedule a consultation today. That's SaveMyERC.com. Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. There are a lot of ways to make whiskey, but there's only one way to make Jack Daniels. At Jack Daniels, they charcoal mellow every drop, only using water from Cave Spring Hollow in Tennessee. When you make your own label, you make everything else yours too. But we don't need to tell you that, do we? Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. 2022. Jack Daniels. All rights reserved. The Adam Jones Podcast welcomes Relief Shop. Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu, located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Your fun awaits at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Feed the whole crew with something for everyone, from cheesesteaks to crab cake sandwiches. Plus, ask how you can get a $15 dining credit. Get in on the gaming action with the hottest slots and your favorite table games like blackjack, roulette, and poker. Free live shows every Friday and Saturday. Come experience non-stop fun and excitement only at Hollywood Casino Perryville.
Hey Baltimore, Monument City Brewing has been crafting the best beer in Maryland since 2014. Located at 1 North Haven Street in Baltimore, you've seen us at the ballpark. Now drop by our tasting room. Open Thursday through Sunday with events, music, and great food trucks. And this year we are honored to collaborate with Adam Jones and the Adam Jones Podcast with Simply AJ Ballpark IPA, available throughout the baseball season. It's going to be a great year, Baltimore. Visit us online at monumentcitybrewing.com or follow us on Instagram at Monument City Brewing.
Hey, you work hard, I work hard, and we all like to save money. That's why we need the Royal Farms ROFO Rewards app to get more value for our hard-earned money. With the app, you earn royalty points on every purchase, can place mobile orders for quick pickup, plus a discount at the gas pump with ROFO Pay. We all like to save money, and with the ROFO Rewards app, we do.
Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
It's the perfect time to check out a spacious and reliable new Toyota SUV. Like a RAV4, with available all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo space, you'll go from errands to adventures in no time. Plus, available features like wireless charging will keep you connected. Or check out a Highlander with seating for up to 8. It's a hub for family adventure. Your Toyota dealer is getting new vehicles in stock regularly, so don't wait. Find deals on a RAV4 or Highlander at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. The Bay Sox are in town June 4th through the 9th. Fireworks follow Friday and Saturday night games. Saturday is our annual Star Wars night with many Star Wars characters in costume and on-field battle showcases. And Sunday is Kids Autograph Day from 11:30 to noon, as kids can get autographs from the Bay Sox team. Get your tickets at baysox.com. And now back to the Adam Jones Podcast.
Everyone's a winner. All right, these were just a tiny portion of Season 3, dozens of episodes to go, and what we hope will be another postseason run for the Orioles, a lot longer than last year. We got over 70 episodes in the vault, so go to Adam Jones Pod, wherever you obtain your podcasts, or check us out on YouTube. Those were all A-list guests in our book, and we have more to come. But, you know, someone was asking us the other day at the Jimmy's Famous seafood golf event. Who are some of your bucket list guests? And I was like, I guess, Roger Goodell would be great. It would be great if we could get a presidential candidate on, even though we don't talk politics. But I was thinking, maybe someone like Michael Phelps, who's going through a lot in his personal life, would love to hear what he has to say. Or a David Ortiz, who's a friend of yours. Or Derrick Henry, who just arrived in town and is the big man on campus in Baltimore. No, we don't want Chip Franklin on because we can get him, and then we'd have to pay him more.
It's like there's always guys. I mean, we were talking to Rudy Gay. He's a Baltimore guy who really loves basketball, obviously loves baseball. Great guy to talk about the finals, what's going on now, and the future of the NBA. Markakis, obviously a guy who's a few words, but of big, I think, reach. Guy's beloved in Baltimore, and he's going to be retiring this summer.
Orioles Hall of Famer on his way.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying
a close friend of yours, but deep in the woods of Georgia.
Yeah, Woodstock. But to get somebody, like Idris Elba, maybe trying to bring something like that, maybe an actor, a famous actor. But Phelps would be a good one. I would like Phelps. I'm gonna reach out to Poppy. He just had a baby, so I'm trying to get these guys breaks. But let me dip back into the Rolodex. But I think a real good one would be, try and get an owner. Try and get an owner. John, you listening? He's trying to get you. Okay.
The past owner or the current owner. Yeah.
You're busy, and we know that, and we love that. But yeah, to get the perspective from people who don't, who don't speak on the matters as much. You see Hal Steinbrenner talking about the Yankees finances and stuff like that. And you're a billionaire. Yeah. No, I'm saying that as I don't know your finances. I don't know what you're paying, and I don't know all that. But to say you can't afford something, you're a billionaire, which we know you're a billionaire, and a lot of people are struggling.
No, yeah.
It's hard for. So I'm sure it's hard for somebody to be like, yeah, cool. I know you're struggling right now. We won't sign Soto. Good, get him out of the division.
Other guests I'm hoping for. Let me see: LeBron James, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Joe Montana and Tom Brady would be great. Belichick.
Which one that might be reachable also is Carmelo.
Yes,
Carmelo
ties, absolutely.
He has Baltimore ties. Honestly, huge sports fan. So we could definitely. That'd be a really good guest.
Well, I will let this cat out of the bag because I'm pretty confident these two people are going to be joining us very soon. One will be the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh, because I got it via text that he's coming on.
That's
so
we'll
there. Be looking forward to him very soon. And he doesn't do local podcasts outside the Ravens state-run podcast. Sorry, Coach, that's the truth. And then also the president of the Ravens, Sashi Brown, is going to have a lot to say, and he has already agreed to join us in about a month from now, as the Ravens are redoing their stadium completely. So we'll get all the insight on that.
Yeah, I can't wait for the suites. I've seen some of the renditions that were going on with what they're doing, and it looks spectacular. Again, football is, you're going to get 8 or 9 games regular season. Last year it was basically the Super Bowl, hosting the AFC Championship game. Hopefully we can do that again, or just have a playoff game again. But to have those kind of amenities and things like that, it just makes the ballpark better. It makes the stadium just that much better. And I can't wait for both of these to tie in. And again, there's so many people that they find out play with the Orioles and all that stuff. Like, man, you had the most beautiful ballpark, and that people that come from new stadiums. And I'm like, it is. It like, you really, when you go back to it, you're like, damn, this place really is beautiful. It just needs to be upgraded. It needs a new sound system. Everybody's been talking about that for ever.
Number one
thing. But it needs a legend section. And again, I know that in Baltimore they want to keep that. They want to keep the tradition. I love seeing good friends of mine who are very wealthy people just sit in the stands with normal people. I love seeing Cal sit in the stands. Obviously, sitting in the front, you're not as bothered by people. But I do like that. But at the same time, there should be a place underneath that is, fit for a different caliber, and get your, like you said with the Yankees, they have the legend section. I don't think that fans are mad about that.
And I agree with that. And for Cal, I sometimes feel bad because he's so prominent sitting there. If the game gets out of hand or he wants to leave early, you really can't. It's a bad look. Everyone sees him leaving before the game's over.
That's why you don't see me sitting down there. You see me in the suite. If you catch me in the suite, hey, if you don't see me, I'm in the bathroom, maybe. I'm getting some ice cream, maybe. I'm gone.
Never left early? No, that doesn't happen.
But with Cal sitting right there, it's like, hey, it's 2 innings gone by. Where is he at? So I will sit with him with his seats, but you have to stay the entire game, or somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, where you at?" Even if it's a blowout. Oh, you don't want to support us?
Yeah, you gave up on the team already? Get out of here. All right, let's keep it going here on the Adam Jones podcast. We move to our For the Birds portion of the podcast, sponsored by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. Hey, when you play the Maryland Lottery, set limits, never play when you're stressed, and know your odds of winning. To visit more, simply go to MarylandLottery.com. That's MDLottery.com/play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to play. The rain delays have been coming for the Orioles, well, ever since baseball started, but for fans and players alike, it seems like there's been a litany of late, whether it be Baltimore, St. Louis, or any ballpark. What I want to know is, how did you back in the day handle rain delays as opposed to being at home versus on the road? And was there a difference between you and the pitchers in handling thus rain delays?
Rain delays, it's the home general manager who has all the say. So once the game starts, it's in the umpire's hands. But before then, it's in the home general manager's hands. And again, if they're looking at the weather and all these kind of things, they'll discuss what could possibly be made. Generally, if you're in the same division, they can probably schedule it a little bit easier. So they can, you guys are seeing the Red Sox, Yankees 2 or 3 times a year. We can schedule this again. When you play a team that you don't see as much, that's when scheduling becomes real difficult. People might have to do cross-country flights, end of the year things. But for me, when it was home and on the road, it was really the same thing. It was a waiting pattern. We just waited. Like Buck would always come in there and say, "Hey, as soon as I have the word, as soon as I have something, you guys will have it." And that's how we were. So me, I'm like, if the game already started and I was in my ring and like I was already out there, my clothes are wet, I'd probably take them off, maybe change them. If I slid or did some action, I'm not touching them, because you got to let them do it, even if it was wet and heavy. But no, it's a waiting pattern. Texting your wife or your family and friends and see what's going on in the world, watching other games. Maybe some guys get a couple games of chess in, some pool, some different things. So it's just, it's a waiting pattern. You think more is going on underneath, but nah, guys.
What about the threat? What about the threat of a doubleheader? Was that always weighing in the back of your mind, like, we don't want to go through this?
Well, the thing is it's one or two things. Like when they say doubleheader, it's like, call the game immediately so we can get home. Don't have us there to 9:30 and be like, we're going to do a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. If you knew that, don't get them beer sales. If you knew that, I want you to call the game at 7, or sometimes they've done it where it's like 4:35. They're like, look, this is inclement weather. Just go home. We're going to do a day-night doubleheader tomorrow. And like, as soon as we have that information, that's the best. But again, it's scheduling. When you aren't playing a team often, when the Orioles are playing the Angels or the A's, we don't see each other often. So logistically, we have to try and play this game, even if the game starts at 10, because it's going to be hard for either of us to go the other way. And you don't play a game in their ballpark and get that gate. Only time we ever did that was the Freddie Gray year in 15, where we wore white. We had to relocate our home series with Tampa down to Tampa.
Yeah, I remember that. By the way, if you cover baseball or play it for a living, rain delays come with the territory, much like if you cover golf or play golf. It's part of the process.
Oh, of course. And you just, drink more. That's why they keep them. That's why they just put that thing up, the sign up there. Inclement weather, just keep you posted. Everybody can look on their phone and see that this big red cloud is coming through.
Yeah, drink more unless you're playing or writing or broadcasting the game. Yes. All right, let's travel beyond Baltimore now. Our national and sometimes international perspective, brought to you by our great friends, Connor Welton Company, over at Relief Medical Marijuana Dispensary, where they go above and beyond to help you, the medical patient. The concept of robotic umpires. Some umpires in Major League Baseball, to me, they're like Supreme Court justices, AJ. They've been around for a long time making bad decisions, but unlike the court, umpires can be replaced by robots like they are in the minor leagues right now. They're called robo umps, or the automated ball strike system. Your thoughts on this coming to the MLB?
Well, I mean, obviously, when Major League Baseball implements something, that means it's probably going to make its way to Major League Baseball at some point in time. Obviously, the Atlantic League and the minor leagues have been the test subjects for Major League Baseball over the last decade, I would say.
Going back to 2022, really at AAA.
Yes. And so, I always look at this like replay. You want to get the call right. Like we were talking about it the other day, is baseball was the terminology. Baseball was a game of inches. That is not any anymore. Baseball is not a game of inches. Baseball is a game of steal shots. I don't even know the proper word for that. Chip probably does, but it's a game of steal shots now because obviously with replay, we're showing down like the guys. To me, when you slide in the base and okay, you slid past, you're safe, but somehow your torso came off this much, and he kept a tag on you, and you're out. I'm looking at that like, come on. With the umpires, you want to get these calls right because these calls are big and they're monumental each way. We've seen one call not go our way in St. Louis, resulted in a big hit. Again, did that call have an effect on it? Could have. Does it directly? Always can. But I've always been the human error guy. Baseball's been human error forever. Now we have the access to technology. We're giving everybody just jobs out here in baseball. Everybody can have a job in baseball. Just say that you have you're an engineer, you're smart, you know numbers. Oh yeah, you can play. You
got an Ivy League degree, right?
Exactly. Don't care about all that when it's baseball. These guys aren't bright up here. These are baseball players. You get a bat and you hit a ball. It don't take a book to do that. It don't take anything. It just takes skill, and skill is physical. So the human error is my favorite part of it. Again, we want to get it right. We always want to get it correct. That's just they do also. I love what Scherzer said. He said, look, grade the umpires. Umpires are graded. And he said, look at it, obviously you got guys that are grandfathered in. When you reach Major League Baseball and you get 5 years of service time, you can decline being sent down to the minor leagues. So it might be something where the umpires have like some guys that have 8 to 10 years of service time. They just don't get sent down to the minor leagues. Maybe they get talked to or something. I don't know how that all worked. But when Scherzer said that idea, I'm like, well, I mean, this whole game's all about accountability. When a player sucks, he's sent down. If an official sucks, they should have a consequence too, right? I mean, these are all conversations. These are all great conversations. I've now to just say, oh, let's just get robotic umpires. Come on. You got the biggest and fastest athletes in the world playing baseball, some of them, obviously, and you want to get a robot to do it? Like, no.
Yeah, it takes away the personalities, and who wants to see a human argue with a robot? I mean,
no. I mean, what are you going to do with the robot? Hit it? You're just going to just break the robot and just find $300,000 or something like that? Like,
at least.
Yeah, I mean,
those things are expensive.
Like the personality, like talking to the umpire. Joe West, if you were a young player, it doesn't matter who you are. If you didn't get into the box and say, how you doing, Mr. West? He would stand back 15 feet and just with his arms folded, not behind on plate. Now it's like, oh, we got a clock. Everybody's got to rush up there. Baseball is it's art. That's how I've always described it. And I told Joe Torre this years ago. I've said baseball is art, Joe. Like I'm about to paint this picture. Now this picture might be painted real quick, or it might be painted real long. It might be pretty. It might be ugly, but it's gonna be art. I'm not doing anything scientific with this approach.
All right. We head to Socially Speaking. This is a portion of the podcast where we answer a tweet or social media post, and you thus earn a chance to win a $50 gift card from our official pizza of the Adam Jones podcast, Lido Pizza, also proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. We are at Adam Jones Pod on all social media platforms, at Adam Jones Pod. That includes Instagram, where we put out a question this week. Actually, you can ask Adam almost anything on Instagram or any of our social media sites. This was one of the responses. At DWill5104 on the IG responded to your question sticker with, assuming everyone's healthy, what is your ideal 8-man Oriole bullpen right now? So I guess we need 8 names.
Well, the thing is, you had me doing actual research and homework on this, and with them going to a possible 6-man rotation, it takes you to 7-man bullpen. So, which rotation you want. So I wrote it all down with a 6-man. If you run a 6-man rotation, you got Burnes, Bradish, Rodriguez, Kramer, Irvin. And now with the news of Means, maybe a Povich, maybe a Suarez fills in for a little bit until we find out what's really going on. I think Suarez is a big swing man because he can start and close. You can basically just say, here's the ball. But the bullpen, you go Kimbrel. For me, it's Kimbrel, Cano, Webb as the righties. We have a lot of lefties in the pen. There's a lot of lefties in the pen. It's 3. You usually don't see 3 lefties in a bullpen, but you got 3 really good lefties and 3 different ones too. So with Aiken, Perez, and Coleman. And then again, with Suarez being the swing man, maybe Povich coming up as a starter, there's going to be some moves made. And then the other part of it is a trade. Like, is there room to go get another veteran arm? Maybe not as seasoned as Kimbrel, but maybe somebody who has some season to him and has been in some situations. Again, bullpen help is always what is needed down in the stretch. Getting outs late against the best teams in baseball are very hard, especially in September. So if you can address that issue, then everybody's going to do it too. Don't think that the Yankees are going to have the Yankees got everybody got the same issues. Yankees are going to be in on a lot of guys. We're talking about Tanner Scott. He might be an open arm available. Yeah, you might see him in pinstripe. So it's you got to look at all sides of it now. And again, I always say I want to ride with my guys, but the reality of it is sometimes you have to make some moves to get the guys that fit the right situation and scenario.
And I think we expect some sort of move coming before the trade deadline for sure. All right, we do want to thank our loyal, dedicated sponsors. Please go out and support the following. They make this podcast possible, folks.
The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Weinman Company. Everyone knows Greenmount Station in Hampstead, but did you know that at Greenmount Station you can bet 7 days a week just like you're at the track? With in-person teller windows and state-of-the-art touchscreen kiosks. And with Greenmount Station's brand new Bet Park Sportsbook, you can bet on all other sports as well, wherever you are in Maryland. Spreads, money lines, live bets, props, parlays, and teasers. The Bet Parks Maryland mobile app is now live for Apple and Android devices, so you'll never miss your next big score. Just search for Bet Parks MD in the Apple App Store or on Google Play. And for a limited time, 21 and over Adam Jones podcast listeners can get a $75 gift card to Greenmount Station simply for opening a new account with promo code GMS and a minimum $50 initial deposit. $75 gift card for new users in Maryland only. 21 and over only. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. The Adam Jones Podcast is brought to you by Jimmy's Famous Seafood, Charm City's favorite crab cake destination. Local sports fan, experience the ultimate pregame party at the tailgate. Cheer on the Ravens with iconic live performances, an open bar, and mouth-watering eats. Can't make it? No worries. Bring the same food that caught the attention of the Food Network right to your doorstep. Shipping East Coast recipes nationwide. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the official sponsor of the guests appearing on the Adam Jones Podcast.
It might be an 11, maybe a 9. It could be 13's time, or 5. With new Cash Pop from the Maryland Lottery, a winning number is drawn 4 times a day. Just pick a number from 1 to 15 for a chance to win cash, like the $2,500 top prize.
Woo! Cash Pop.
Cash Pop. Put a little pop in your day.
If you received ERC funds, listen closely. The IRS has 10 years to audit your claim, but you only have until March 22nd to get taxpayer relief, and the clock is ticking. If you're losing sleep over a possible audit, we'll review your claim. If you made a filing error, we'll set things right. If you're being audited, we'll provide expert representation. The IRS Voluntary Disclosure Program ends March 22nd. You deserve peace of mind. Visit SaveMyERC.com to schedule a consultation today. That's SaveMyERC.com. Effective Solutions, your one-stop shop for commercial contracting. Everything from excavation and site development to emergency remediation and restoration. Effective Solutions specializes in many forms of commercial and mixed-use construction. With a dedicated staff and a commitment to quality, Effective Solutions delivers every time. There are a lot of ways to make whiskey, but there's only one way to make Jack Daniels. At Jack Daniels, they charcoal mellow every drop, only using water from Cave Spring Hollow in Tennessee. When you make your own label, you make everything else yours too. But we don't need to tell you that, do we? Make it count. Jack Daniels. Please drink responsibly. Tennessee whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. 2022. Jack Daniels. All rights reserved. The Adam Jones Podcast welcomes Relief Shop. Shop Maryland's largest adult use and medical cannabis menu, located at 1114 Cathedral Street in Baltimore, with medical delivery available throughout Maryland 7 days a week, only at Relief Shop.
Your fun awaits at Hollywood Casino Perryville. Feed the whole crew with something for everyone, from cheesesteaks to crab cake sandwiches. Plus, ask how you can get a $15 dining credit. Get in on the gaming action with the hottest slots and your favorite table games like blackjack, roulette, and poker. Free live shows every Friday and Saturday. Come experience non-stop fun and excitement only at Hollywood Casino Perryville.
Hey Baltimore, Monument City Brewing has been crafting the best beer in Maryland since 2014. Located at 1 North Haven Street in Baltimore, you've seen us at the ballpark. Now drop by our tasting room. Open Thursday through Sunday with events, music, and great food trucks. And this year we are honored to collaborate with Adam Jones and the Adam Jones Podcast with Simply AJ Ballpark IPA, available throughout the baseball season. It's going to be a great year, Baltimore. Visit us online at monumentcitybrewing.com or follow us on Instagram at Monument City Brewing.
Hey, you work hard, I work hard, and we all like to save money. That's why we need the Royal Farms ROFO Rewards app to get more value for our hard-earned money. With the app, you earn royalty points on every purchase, can place mobile orders for quick pickup, plus a discount at the gas pump with ROFO Pay. We all like to save money, and with the ROFO Rewards app, we do.
Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
It's the perfect time to check out a spacious and reliable new Toyota SUV. Like a RAV4, with available all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo space, you'll go from errands to adventures in no time. Plus, available features like wireless charging will keep you connected. Or check out a Highlander with seating for up to 8. It's a hub for family adventure. Your Toyota dealer is getting new vehicles in stock regularly. So don't wait. Find deals on a RAV4 or Highlander at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. The Bay Sox are in town June 4th through the 9th. Fireworks follow Friday and Saturday night games. Saturday is our annual Star Wars night with many Star Wars characters in costume and on-field battle showcases. And Sunday is Kids Autograph Day from 11:30 to noon as kids can get autographs from the Bay Sox team. Get your tickets at baysox.com.
Thanks to senior executive producer Chip Franklin for putting this latest episode together. Chip's a big baseball nut. I'm sorry, I misread that. Chip is just a nut, it says here. Go out and subscribe to the Baltimore Banner. Until next week, be kind, be real, and make sure, be back after Adam gets back from India. We'll hear all about it. The next edition of the Adam Jones Podcast coming soon.
10 pounds lighter.